Mr. Lloyd here, back again with another edition of Throwback Thursdays, and I believe we're on number 14. The last one we did was 13. Ironically, 13 was an angel character, the Redeemer from Spawn. Spawn Reborn Series 1 version of the Redeemer, that is. And I almost forgot where we're at, because it's been almost, it has been like 2 weeks since I've done one of these, hasn't it? It's been a while, but of course today we're going to be taking a look at the Kenner Gargoyles Bronx. That's right, we're doing Bronx relatively early. Most people don't usually do him first, but I am. Well, I'm doing him earlier because we've already taken a look at Goliath and Hudson. We might as well take a look at Hudson's number one pal, the gargoyle equivalent to a dog. Voiced by Frank Megatron Welker. And if you don't know who Frank Welker is, I just told you. He was also Soundwave and Fred Jones. So there you go. And he was also Niddler in that Pirates of Darkwater show, which I may need to check out at some point, because it actually looks kind of cool. Although, part of me doesn't want to, because, well, I'm going to want those toys after, aren't I? Yeah, probably. But getting into it, this is probably going to be the shortest Throwback Thursdays ever, because this figure literally has jack diddly squat going on. So I'm just prepping you for that, because all he comes with is this glider here. Woo! Which is an accessory that most of the loose ones have on eBay, so if you really do want this, you can buy them with it. Excuse me. He does have some slots up here. He did come with a sword originally, which I have found on eBay a few times now, but I just haven't pulled the trigger on it, so I need to pick one of those up eventually. But all it does is just kind of clamp around him, and that's it. Very reminiscent of some of the Batman animated series gliders from the time. Looking at Bronx, mine's got a little paint wear on the teeth, but that's okay. This thing does not move. Like, this leg moves. It's actually kind of tight. The arms have, the front legs have the articulation in them, but they really just kind of quiver. They don't move a whole lot. But he does have peg holes on all four of his feet. If you really need a figure stand and can't get this guy to stand, even though he's a brick, essentially, you can do that, I guess, if you really wanted to. But the main feature, main gimmick that this guy has, you pull his hind right leg back. I was trying to remember what side that was. And he has jaw-chomping action. Look at that. And they actually did a little bit of paint work in there. They painted his tongue up. All of his teeth are painted. We'll say this guy's a little bit more intimidating than the Origins Battle Cat, which is a figure from literally a year ago. Actually looks like he's going to bite you. But yeah, that's really it for Bronx. I wish he had the light blue paint on the bottom. I don't know why he doesn't. But I guess if you had a couple of these, you could custom paint this. Which I might buy a second one to get a complete one with nicer teeth. And see if my dad, a.k.a. Mr. Brian, couldn't paint the light blue on the bottom and maybe touch up the teeth a little bit on this one. 'Cause I would like to have a show accurate one, because it is just freaking Bronx. Lexington is another one I'd like to get a second one of, so you can maybe paint the eyes. But yeah, that's really it. This glider does add a lot of height to him. I would say that's where the majority of it comes from. But you can see it just kind of clamps down on him. But yeah, this is essentially it. Again, Bronx doesn't have a whole heck of a lot going on. He's cool, but he's very, very basic. But I love him all the same. He's part of my beloved Gargoyles collection, so, you know, you can't go wrong with Bronx, right? He's also a really likable character for a dog, canine, pet type character. He did a lot in the show when he was one of the main focuses. He was the one of the main members on the world tour. So there you go. And the Hound of Ulster, or whatever they called it in that one episode where he fought the Banshee. There was no Darby O'Gill and the Little People crossover. That was kind of disappointing, but I guess I shouldn't have really expected that. That was another Disney property. You want to talk about some weird Disney stuff? That movie, it's pretty weird. It's a trip. It's got the Banshee and the Death Coach with the headless guy driving it. Weird stuff, man. But, yeah. That's Bronx. And since he couldn't fly, they made him a glider. A concept I'm surprised they didn't put in the show. I mean, they had all kinds of other techie stuff going. Like, they made Cold Stone a cyborg, but they never gave Bronx, like, a little jetpack or something. Which, to be honest, would have probably been easier to do. Even when they were buddies with Xanatos, they didn't do that. So, yeah, kind of surprising there. But I'm just rambling at this point because this review is going to be really freaking short. So with that being said, let's take a look at some comparisons. First up, here is Bronx next to the other two members of the Manhattan Clan that I've already taken a look at during Throwback Thursdays. And for those of you who missed the Demona video, she does not count because she's a bitch. So instead, we have the Stone Armor Goliath, the first one we ever did, and Hudson, who is Bronx's #1 pal. They were always hanging out together, watching TV, whether it was the news or cartoons or in the comic book Seinfeld. That was interesting. But as you can see, Bronx, I think Bronx is pretty well scaled with these two. If you wanted to use this guy with the NECA one, he is kind of small for that. I think he needs to be a lot bigger to scale with that one. However, I think the Kenner Lexington, again, would be a decent fit for that figure if you wanted a Lexington to go with him for the time being and don't want to wait for NECA to make one. Could go with that, which he might be the next Gargoyles Throwback Thursdays. We'll wait and see. And last but certainly not least, we have our two regulars, the Mythic Legion's Brother Mandibulus and the Mortal Kombat 11 Spawn. And I guess if you wanted this guy to be a steed for maybe your Mythic Legion's goblins, it might work. You have to throw a lot of paint on him to make it fit, though. But with that being said, time to wrap things up. Some final thoughts. Overall, and while this figure is, well, a bit of a brick, you can't really pose him at all. It's Bronx, man. You can't go wrong with Bronx. He's voiced by Frank Megatron Welker, and he was one of the main characters in the show, and one of the main characters for the World Tour story arc. So, you know, you gotta have Bronx. Gotta have Bronx. They didn't make a whole lot of different characters for this line, so anytime they made a different character, I made sure to pick them up. I have all the main characters from this line, different characters in this line. And Bronx is definitely, I think, one of my favorites. I think the sculpt on him is actually really nice. Something I didn't talk about a whole heck of a lot earlier. But the sculpt on this guy is really, really solid. My only major complaint with this guy is that he doesn't have the light blue on his underside like he does in the show. So, again, might pick up a second one and see if my dad can't custom paint that. It's not hard to do. You just gotta match that light blue up to what it looked like in the show. And I'm hoping that NECA makes a really awesome Bronx figure in the near to distant future. That'd be really cool. Because I would like to have one that I could pose kind of charging or pouncing or something like that. Pose him on a flight stand, whatever. I think it'd be really cool to get a Bronx that's fully articulated in today's day and age. So with that being said, if you're at all a fan of this Gargoyles line from the fine folks over at Kenner, I would highly recommend you pick this guy up. Because it's Bronx, man. You gotta have the family dog character, right? Well, that being said, I hope you guys also enjoyed this week's edition of Throwback Thursdays. I'm not sure what the next one will be. Maybe Clown 2, because that's the last of the Spawn stuff I really need to cover that's in the new Spawn line that I have. I know Gunslinger's in it, but I don't have that old figure because he's expensive as, balls. So, that being said, again, I hope you guys enjoyed this week's edition of Throwback Thursdays. Don't forget to like this video, hit that subscribe button and the notification bell so you know whenever I upload more reviews like this one. Gonna show that algorithm who's boss, right? As always, hit me up on Instagram at Overlord Productions and leave a comment in the comment section below. Let me know what you think of this guy, whether you want him, love him, or hate him. I feel like this is going to be a 50-50 figure. A lot of people are going to like it. A lot of people aren't because, well, again, he's a brick. You can't really do a whole heck of a lot with him. But as always, keep the comments civil because the world sucks enough as it is. And until next time, I'll catch you guys later.